Today I'm on a journey into the city to pick up a 58 Buick Super project that is a, we should call it an abandoned father-son project. Son decided he couldn't finish it off, so here I am getting ready to rescue it, but it's quite the job to just get it out of the garage. Here it is, 58 Super 4-door hardtop. It is not a roller yet, so the first order of business is to get the torque tube and rear end connected back up to the transmission. Right now it's sitting on the floor, so we've got a little bit of work ahead of us to be able to get it on the trailer even. Oh. I did bring another seal for this thing. I guess probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put a seal in it before we close it up, because I really don't want to take this thing apart once I get it home.
Right. Not just for practice.
Right. Yeah, probably ought to do that before I do anything else. I think I'm ready to lift this up. Let's see where we are. Oh my God. Well, I'm trying to lift up the torque tube to
the whole deal, huh?
Find its way in there. I'm actually going to take and pull back the left side a little bit more.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's pulled pretty good. I just don't know
if we're gonna
be able to get it up in there, but that it's kind of pulling to the right side, so I'm going to pull the left side back a little bit so it's evened up.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're oh yeah, you're definitely back.
Now the question is, or how are we going to get it to go forward while holding it?
Yeah, that's where the trickery.
Maybe if we can get it propped up there.
Oh.
And I'll slowly kind of inch it up that way. Well, it sure is. It's way back, isn't it?
Motherfucker's heavy.
Why don't we pull it back down for a second?
Okay.
I'm good. I got it.
All right. Son of a bitch.
So we need to go forward. So it's almost like we need to find a happy medium
where it'll, yeah. That's up in
that's better. I'll just kind of keep pushing it forward just a touch.
Looks like all I had to do is yank it to me. Oh yeah.
It's totally loose.
Oh, it is? Well, it's not near forward enough.
Oh, I know. We gotta pull it forward.
Okay. We can get it.
Keep it
like that. Oh,
all right, hang tight for just a second. I see a blank spline here. I need to find out where it is on that side so we can start trying to eyeball them.
Trying to.
Although when we roll this thing forward, it's going to spin the drive shaft.
Okay.
All right. Slight delay. We had a minor problem with a thread being boogered up in here, and I don't have my tap and die set here. He does have an extra one. I'm going to go ahead and run a couple of bolts through here. I also pulled this off because this was really loose inside that torque ball seal, and I don't trust it. And I'm glad I did, because it was shot. So we're going to go ahead and sideline that, grab a angle grinder with a wire wheel on it, clean this up, and try to get it back in. Okay, got it all put together. Only took 17 and a half tries. Man, replaced the torque ball seal, and we also took the that U-joint section out of there so that we could file some of the splines out. They were kind of flattened and they were giving us trouble with getting this thing in. I'll give you a little background on what this whole situation is while I'm going to grab some lunch. I don't know, about 15 years ago, 2007-ish, 2008, I met this gentleman, Tom, and he was a big 58 guy. He was super excited and was doing this project with a 58 Super 4-door, and I had a limited 4-door, so we had a lot in common. And so he was looking for parts, I was looking for parts, we were doing some swapping and whatnot, and I ended up just, I guess, abandoning my limited project, and when I bought a Roadmaster, and I went ahead and sold a limited to a guy in Sweden. And I lost touch with Tom shortly thereafter, and I just kind of forgot about it. Then fast forward to the Easter Forest Park Easter show this year, 2022. Tom showed up. I had both the Roadmaster and the Limited there, and so we sparked up conversation. He said he still had his 4-door Super and was looking to possibly just unload it because he was just wasn't in it anymore. His dad passed away not too long ago and kind of lost the fire to get it done, which I understand. And so I came and looked at the car and all the parts he's got and made a deal. And that's been, I don't know, a month and a half, almost 2 months. And you know, he's held the car for me for quite a while now, because I've been traveling everywhere. I've had the GS Nationals, the BCA Nationals. I went to Poland for a week, and then just other various crazy out-of-town gigs, and just now I'm being able to get back to it. But he works for City of St. Louis, so he's going on call this weekend, so I had to jump and make this happen. So this is going to be about a 2-day, maybe a 3-day gig with getting all of the parts and everything and getting this car loaded onto a trailer. It may be 3 or 4 trips, I'm not sure. He's got a massive pile of parts in his basement and in the garage. As you've seen just a quick snapshot of what we're dealing with, and it's a lot. So we have a lot of work to do. All right, going through the drive-through. The descent to the ground has begun. Tom's going to get an air compressor to air up these tires because the jack is stuck under the pumpkin. And if we air the tires up just enough, it'll slip out. This is tight quarters here, so it's gonna be tough to get it unpacked enough to get this thing out. I've seen worse, but yeah. What an adventure. Hopefully this won't be too hard of a car to get on the road. Supposedly, I know this engine's been rebuilt by a local company that does a nice job with these engines, and transmission was done too, so hopefully those things fire up with no problem. They have fired the car up just to make sure it ran, but never broke anything in. Hopefully there's no problem there. The interior on this car has not been touched, pretty much. I think they've pretty much only just been working on drivetrain. I don't want to open the door on this thing right now, but it's all just covered up. But it's a blue and white interior. Of course the headliner is all brown. But dash pad doesn't seem to be in too bad a condition. Of course, famous last words. Glass is all intact. No cracks, just a couple of wiper marks. So this, in theory, should be a pretty darn good car when it's taped back together. Time to load. I have a truckload full of crap and more to come. I'm on my way home. I'm on my way home for day one. I assumed this would take 2 days to do it, so I budgeted both days, and we're definitely going to need it. Tomorrow I'm going to bring the trailer. First thing we're going to do is get the car loaded onto the trailer, and then we're basically going to pack the truck around it. And it may even need a third trip. There's a whole rear end and torque tube, transmission, engine, a whole dash and cowl panel that is just sitting there in the garage, and a basement full, not a whole basement full, but there's a pile of trim, a couple bumpers, and more general stuff. So we'll do another day tomorrow, and hopefully, I don't know if I'm going to go back tomorrow for the third trip or not, but I'm going to be pretty wiped out. It's supposed to be in the mid 90s tomorrow, and I didn't pack enough water today, so I'm spitting dust. But that'll do it for today. I'm going to start back up early tomorrow. I'm actually going to skip the gym and just go straight out there and start working. Get done early. Hopefully I'll get done early. You're right. Anyway, all right, back at it tomorrow. Second day, off to pick up the car. I am whooped from yesterday. My God. Laying on that floor for half the freaking day trying to get that torque tube installed. Anyway, let's get it done. This is the pile of parts that came out of the basement, including a coupe rear window, which is kind of fun. Still have engine, transmission, rear end, and a full cowl section back there somewhere. You can kind of see it. That thing, engine hoist, the jack, is no Gouda, so we can't load the engine today. I'm gonna have to come back and bring mine, and we'll load that by itself. It helps to have tie downs. That's where Harbor Freight comes into play. Thankfully, it was only 2 miles away. Grab some, head back, strap the car down, get loaded, get out of here. Quality Harbor Freight product check. Had to hotwire that thing to make it run. Actually got a chain and a binder back here wrapped around the rear end there, and since we don't have shocks, I took and kind of pulled the whole car down to keep it from bouncing. Hopefully that stays that way, because with no shocks on this thing, it wants to bounce like a freaking spring. Okay, let's get the truck loaded. Here we go, all loaded up. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this car. My initial intent was to just kind of throw it back together, put all the original stuff back on it, get it running, and sell it. But we have a set of fenders that are, actually I have 2 sets of fenders that are not the right color, and so which involves paint. And you know, there's the option of parting the car out, but I think the car is too good for that. I know it's just a Super 4-door, but it's got a nice original interior in it. Original engine, original transmission. Transmission really doesn't matter, but I don't know. It matters to me when I pick stuff up. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to just kind of sort everything out when I get home and see what's there. I know there's enough basically to put the whole car back together plus some, but we're going to give it another 2 weeks. I'm going to have to come back out and with my engine hoist and pick up the engine, transmission, and that big cowl section with the dashboard attached to it, because his engine hoist was not functioning. The ram wasn't holding pressure and just wasn't working out. So I am gonna go back when he's back off call. He works for the city, so he's on call from basically now until July 15th. And yeah, if you got any ideas of what you think should or could be done with this car, let me know, and we'll see what we can do. I'm probably not going to be able to work on it for a little while. I may just pick at it and see if I can get it to run, maybe. But there's still quite a bit of stuff that needs to be wrapped up on it before I even turn a key. So let's get home. Well, I'm finally home. And I had some time to think about what I was going to do with this thing, and no matter what I do, the first thing I have to do is check and see if this thing turns over, because if it doesn't, we're in trouble. The seller had indicated that he ran the engine a couple times, but you know, there's no coolant, and I pulled the dipstick. I didn't see any oil on it, which really kind of scares me. And yeah, so let's give it a shot. If it spins over, then should be in okay shape. Okay, that's a good thing. Definitely good. I don't feel any weird binding or anything like that. It's definitely a good thing. I'll go ahead and top it off with oil, and I really got to get this front clip together, get all the hoses together, put coolant in it, and make this thing run, and you know, at least give it a good break in and make sure things are where they need to be before I do anything else on this car. So since I have absolutely nowhere to store this car, I'm going to just stick it right in front of the shop, because I've got two cars, two of my 58s in the house garage. Paint shop is booked up, and everyone's spoken for inside the shop. So my own stuff, once again, gets to stay outside, and I'll do what I have to do to keep this thing covered up. I probably will just go ahead and put the hood on and get it closed up so we can at least cover the top of the engine. And I think the rest of the car is somewhat weatherproof, so we'll see. Oh, this is blue mist, not silver mist. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier in the video or not, but I went ahead and checked the code, and it is code 2 blue mist. I had it in my head that it was silver mist because the seller told me that's what it was, but when I got out in the sun, it's obviously not silver. Definitely blue mist. Same color as my Blue Limited, which is cool, but that's neither here nor there. So let's get the thing off the trailer. Okay, I think I've had way too much fun for the last 2 days. Let's call this a wrap, and I'm gonna get on this thing as soon as I can. Really the first thing I need to do is make sure this thing runs. I've got to reconnect the exhaust up. It's all just hanging there. I just got to bolt them up, and then we can kind of just add the cooling system real quick and call it good. But hopefully that all comes to fruition pretty quick. Anyway, if you want to keep track, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you already haven't been, and also there's a little bell at the bottom of the, or near the subscribe button somewhere, that will tell you when a new video is posted. So please stay tuned, and I appreciate everyone watching. I'll see you next time.